Welcome back to Sonic Generations 3DS. So now let's go to Boss Gate 3. Oh, I wonder who that is.
Looks like a marijuana leaf.
Pothead the porcupine.
Wow, very surprised by Sega.
Alright, so Silver's race battle is probably the easiest one, and not for the reasons you may think of, because Silver is constantly flying, so he actually... Well, not constantly flying, but surprisingly Silver is actually decently fast in this game. Not to mention he will teleport to where you are. However, you should still be able to finish him just fine, because he's still slower than the other rivals we've had so far. So you should be fine as long as you don't run out of boost. Just do what I do and...
Shame you can't play Race to Win in these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, right? This really feels a lot like those.
It's a good song too, they just kind of neglect that one.
Well, the thing is... Well, that's the thing.
They kind of neglect rivals in general.
Although, hold on, I think Race to Win was one of the songs...
In Generations. Yeah, Race to Win is actually in Sonic Generations, actually. And I was because...
the HD version?
Yes, the HD version. If I remember correctly, they actually did a good job in, like, I mean, Sonic's... There's Toxic Kiss from Sonic's Pinball. I don't know, I can't... Okay, I'm trying to think, like, of a game that was specifically denied representation as a music track, like, I guess the Game Gear games, the 8-bit games, I guess, yeah, because...
Sonic Drift.
Well, Bridge Zone, like, they could have put in Bridge Zone, but, yeah, they didn't.
I think the Game Gear games did get some remixing, although I'll give them credit that even the most devout of Sonic fans tended to forget about the Game Gear games, so...
Well, in a way, Sonic 2 Master System got representation because Sonic CD's Japanese theme is in the game.
True. Technically, that theme originated from Sonic 2-8-bit, not Sonic CD.
Now, I will say this one thing that we did get robbed on was the fact that Sonic Youth was not used as the final boss theme for the encounter.
Yeah, that's okay, Joe, but that's what PC mods are for. That's what I did, and I'm sticking with that mod from now on every time I play Generations.
Maybe I should get that mod for when I eventually do the HD version for the channel.
Oh, don't worry, Jova. I insist that when you do any Sonic game on PC, you go through me about lists of mods you need to use.
For those who don't know, Sonic Youth is... Well, it's hard to describe without going on for too long.
We have good reasons to think... Yeah, we have good reasons to think that apparently was June's original intended final boss theme, but you have to remember that was back in the day where Sega, for whatever reason, was hesitant in having vocal songs in Sonic games, even though that doesn't make a lick of sense.
Oh, and now, ladies and gentlemen, the boss to represent the modern era of Sonic, Egg Emperor from Sonic
Heroes. What?
Hold on, my notes.
Okay, technically, according to
You're in the wrong era, I think.
Yeah, according to the marketing of this game, Heroes is part of the Dreamcast era, even though that doesn't make much sense. But the point is, okay, I get that you don't want to use...
It has the same Dreamcast voice.
I get that you don't want to use a boss from Unleashed, because the HD version does. Okay, use a boss from Colors then, like...
I know, right?
Okay, like,
I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, the fight is good, and hey, they even gave Eggman some unique voice lines for this site, but all the same, yeah, why not just have this be your Dreamcast era fight, and then choose something else for the modern era?
my problem...
Not putting this in the Dreamcast era at all, though. Maybe it's because they were doing, 3 sections per area, and they didn't have more than 2 for the Dreamcast era, so they just picked the next game, which was...
I still think they would have... I honestly, if I were the one making Sonic Generations, I would have actually had a Saturn era, but that's just me.
Yes,
What is there?
Well, why not? Well, Java, what? Why not? We could have a stage from Sonic R as an actual stage in Generations. I would like that.
I mean, I'm gonna go. Okay, to give him
That's a racing game.
So
Yeah,
that's what reworking design is for. That's what reworking things is for. We rework it as a proper level.
to be fair, though, the whole point of Generations was to revisit platforming games in that regard, so I can see why some might have found that to be a little bit out there, especially since that would be like the only time that they do that, unless they really wanted to go the full hog and just, have every single game in the series get its...
Okay, fine. In that case, have a level from Sonic 3D Blast then. That's a platformer.
Spin-off 3D isometric one.
Mega Drive.
Yeah, also, to be fair, 3D Blast's leveling structure doesn't exactly leave any zone being that iconic. Let me put it like this. It's sort of about where if 3D Blast got a level, then people would be asking, oh, but why doesn't insert other side spin-off get its own level here and there? I can see why they wanted to keep it to that. I could see them maybe trying to do some of the spin-offs that were platforming, like maybe 3D Blast, and God forbid they resurrect Sonic Extreme from the dead. Or hell, even give us some of the storybook levels.
Yeah, like that's another one you could have used. Fortunately, that's what the fan community is for.
I'm gonna give them credit though. I get why they wouldn't want to go too uber wild with, oh, suddenly this can get its level, because then, obviously you get people wondering, well, why doesn't Shadow the Hedgehog get its own level too?
That's the thing, Joe, but I am very much of the opinion that Sega completely fumbled the missed opportunity of not giving that game DLC, because if there was...
absolutely. Like, I mean, okay, you will never hear me go against the idea that Generations should have been chock full of DLC. No. It had it right there. Now,
okay, so here...
granted,
let me just talk about the boss itself. Okay, so the boss works pretty much like in Heroes. The problem I have is that in order to... because of the way the boss is designed around the boost, I have to boost in order to get to it so I can hit it. Problem is, going that fast makes it really hard to dodge his attacks, because again he's alternating between downward waves and upward waves, and so it can be this was easier in Heroes for me, because in Heroes the gameplay is slower, so I had more reaction time, so it's one of those cases where I really miss the way Heroes played compared to how it's, because this boss works much better with the way Heroes was played.
I think that the pattern looks relatively simple enough, but again, I will say that when it comes to muscle memory of certain things, I can get how this might screw with you. Like, Generations console game, that's a game we probably play more often, so it's easier to get, okay, this is how it works in Generations.
There's also the fact that
for not coming back to the 3DS version as much.
There's also the fact that in Heroes you had the team gameplay, so you could have used Tails to easily get near him with and while easily dodging the waves using Tails' flight. In here you don't have that, so...
I will say this once again, the boss gets a fire remix.
It does. Let me see who made this remix. Alright, and now it's time for... Alright, so we already got all the Chaos Emeralds, so... yeah.
Oh, I can't believe this! I was supposed to beat you this time!
I'm sorry. I didn't get that memo. Maybe that's why I beat you every time. Maybe you don't know this yet. But seriously, we beat this guy every time. It's like our job or something.
The remix of Egg Emperor was done by Jun himself. What's Eggman even doing here?
Hey there.
I thought you said he'd been kidnapped by that big weird thing that sent us to this place. Alright, Dwebs.
And right on cue.
Oh no, the picture! Ah! Oh no, the picture ate Modern Eggman too! See? He was kidnapped by a picture. You know, like, that sounds really silly when I phrase it into words. This is getting stranger all the time. A new stage gate has opened. Final gate. This final gate will not open until you have all the Chaos Emeralds. Since I already have it, it opened immediately.
All right then.
All right, so only
no boss for
now we just fight the time eater and we're done. All right, final gate.
Here we go.
Oh no!
Okay, whatever you are. If you want to avoid getting your butt kicked, you'd better give up now.
How do you kick the butt of a picture? Go ahead.
You're not at anything, you nasty little pincushion.
Eggman? But how? Alright, guys, same voice.
He had a little help.
Remember, Mike gives both Eggmans the same voice, so it's whatever. Dr. Robotnik!
Nobody calls me that anymore.
Fuck you, whoever wrote that line.
If you would be so kind to explain, gentleman genius Dr. Eggman from the future. It will be my pleasure, most excellent and effacious Dr. Eggman of the past.
Boy, Eggman really gets along with himself well.
I wonder.
After my most recent setback, I stumbled upon the primordial form of this Time Eater, which I discovered had amazing abilities even I had never been able to master.
Yeah, why don't they just show the flashback picture in colors like in Generations?
It could erase time and space.
Maybe just have it as a still in the background.
I then had the brilliant idea. I would use my discovery to undo my previous defeats. In order to perfect it, I needed the help of somebody as smart as I am. And the only person that's smart is me! Oh, you are too kind, my dear future self, and I was happy to help. And while I was at it, I decided to trap you in this world as well.
But the more your monster tears through time, the more damage you do to the world. Do I gain points if I act like I care?
The world? I'm going to own the world when I'm finished with Sonic!
You know, given forces, he's technically not wrong.
Oh! You mean we're going to own the world? Oh!
I can't listen to any more of this. I beat you all the time by myself, and now there's two of me.
Yes.
Oh, Sonic!
Then I'll have twice as much fun defeating you.
Look out!
Look out, the pitcher's gonna eat you!
It's hitting us with the red filter ray!
Move all you want. I'm still going to stomp you into a blue chili.
Ah! Anyone ever tell you you need a hobby, Egghead?
The Time Eater obliterates time and space. Did you really think you could escape him just by running around?
Well, it's gotten me out of a lot of jams.
Oh! Now it's time to meet your doom, Sonics!
And Sonic dies. The end.
And this is the part where all it's trying
Whoa! Nope, sorry. Only Tails.
Tails! Are you okay? Oh, what's this?
Ow, I think so.
Why did you do that? So in this version, the Tails actually protected the Sonics.
Yep. Even though we don't really see exactly what they did, but whatever. I wanted to help too.
I assume they blocked a death ray or something?
I don't know.
Their
The game
own bodies?
the game does a very Ferf and Seraph poor way of conveying it.
This cool thing happened just to the right over there. If you just look over, you can see it.
Oh, so it's
Can't
like
let Tails do all the hard work, can we, partner?
So it's like the storytelling in Sword and Shield. Gotcha.
Could this be?
Go ahead.
The lights! The Chaos Emeralds!
Or rather, pictures of the Chaos Emeralds, at least.
Yeah, Chaos Emeralds within the red boxes.
Looks like fun. Let's do this.
It's time to end this. Time to show them what we can do.
Here goes.
Let's do this.
Alright. And supersonic exclamation mark. There you go. Alright, so the time meter.
Now, to my understanding, the fight is actually better in the 3DS version than
Yes,
it is in the
it,
console version.
it is. However, it still has a major issue for me, but I'll bring it up when it becomes relevant. The first phase is relatively simple. Just dodge everything. Right now you're in control of Classic Sonic. The Classic Sonic handles the 2D sections and 3D, and Modern Sonic handles the 3D sections. Like so.
Now,
For the first Modern Sonic section is relatively simple. You just dodge his constant throwing of the teleporting hands until you reach back to him. Unlike with the HD version of this boss battle, the boss battle is actually designed in a way that makes sense and is easy to understand how it works. Unlike whatever the fuck they were thinking with the HD versions of this boss. So yeah. One problem I do have with Classic Sonic's sections is this. You won't get any more rings during these sections unless you perfectly dodge everything that he throws at you. Which is kind of a problem, because as things get harder, it becomes harder and harder to keep getting rings. So I feel like I understand what they're going for, you know, reward to play with rings for dodging everything, but that's not how usually these supersonic boss battles work. You can always at the very least get rings even if you don't dodge everything. Whatever. Aside from that, yeah, there you go. You just wait for your chance and you hit it. Okay. Now, starting with this, now this is where I start to get annoyed. Because now, starting with this, I think it's now, if I remember correctly. Or maybe it's... Oh, no, never mind. I think it's the third time. Never mind. Oh, never mind. There it is. Okay, so you have to use the D-pad plus the B button to dodge these things. Here's the problem. In order to dodge that thing perfectly, and remember, if you don't dodge that well, it slows you down massively and you'll never reach the time meter, causing you to lose a ton of rings. So here's what you have to do. Don't try to get smart like I'm trying to right now. Just wait until the prompt for the QTE shows up and just press it. Like that, and just boost whenever you have a chance. Because if you try to get smart and boost while dodging at the same time, the game will just like, because these things are like the game expects you to always dodge the exact specific direction it wants you to. So
I was about to ask, how are you supposed to tell which direction on the directional pad you're supposed to press on?
Jova beats the hell out of me. I'm guessing you're supposed to assume, oh, the hands are horizontal, so you have to dodge vertically. If they're vertical, so you have to dodge horizontal. I'm guessing that's the idea, but at the same time, it can be very easy to screw up because you're trying to boost your way to the time meter because, again, you're being timed, because if you lose all your rings, you die. And remember, unlike with the classic Sonic sections, modern Sonic sections don't have that much in terms of rings to collect. So it can be a problem
I still think this is a better version of the fight.
Oh, it is.
To be honest.
It is, Shiroi.
You can actually see the fucking rings in this one.
Oh, it is, Shiroi. But I will argue it still has problems.
Oh no, it certainly does.
I mean,
I have not beaten the HD version of the game.
Wait, really?
Well,
Snap.
I can't see the rings at all.
Well, yeah. I mean, that boss battle was just terrible.
Like, I literally can't. To this day, I've not beaten that game because I just couldn't be bothered anymore.
That's the thing. Like, what I find amazing is that there's literally an achievement / trophy for beating that boss without a hit. Like, and I could not for the life of me get that back in the day. My brother was the one who figured that out, and I still have no idea how the hell he does that. Because the boss
Sonic, he likely knows the trick.
basically, I like the HD version of this boss makes no sense. The game does a terrible job of conveying how it works. This one, you understand how it works. It's relatively simple and easy to understand. I just think the design of the later modern Sonic sections needed to be better. See that bit there, like I don't really get what I was supposed to do there. Yeah. See, look at that. I had little to no time to react. Like the game expects you to have super lightning fast reaction times to those ends. Like what happened there? I pressed down in B. Why didn't the? Like I said, this boss is better than the HD version, but it still has issues. And now he throws. Surprisingly, it doesn't do the time break in this version. He instead throws a clock at you, and you have to dodge the hands.
Does he go burn to ashes in this one?
No. And before you ask this, no, you don't have anybody telling you that looks like a homing shot.
Oh, now the experience is ruined.
Oh, great. That unfortunately, that gave those critics that hated the Friends ammo.
Yeah.
I mean, you can turn those voices off.
The voices of the friends, no. You can turn off Homo Chow, but you cannot turn off the friend voices. Unless, of course, you lower the volume of the voices altogether, I guess, but...
So, which version of the time meter scene do you prefer, modern or classic?
Isn't this the same track, though?
No. If you listen, you'll notice
slightly
that...
Oh, right. Oh, no, I thought you were saying that the time meter music in this version is specific, but I guess... honestly, that's the thing, Jova. I don't care much for the time meter theme. Like, every time I hear it, it's kind of... Okay, let me put it this way. It's kind of like the first phase theme of the Solaris boss fight before they switch to his world. Like, it sounds bland, and I cannot catch the melody to save my life.
I wouldn't say that's bland, but I do agree.
I wonder if...
Hold on. I don't think it's bland, but I do agree that the time meter scene does feel like something that's like... An obvious phase one thing.
I'll just
should have been Sonic Youth.
I'll just say this. Yeah, should have been Sonic Youth. Should have been Sonic Youth.
I wonder if Richard Jack, because he did the time eater theme. I wonder if he was just knackered by the end of everything.
When he was not.
There we go.
And that's when maybe if he stopped being an asshole all the time, he wouldn't be so knackered. Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
Basically, Shiroi, T. Lopes made a remix of Can You Feel the Sunshine, right? And Richard Jock went nuts and started lambasting him on Twitter, talking about how T. Lopes is shit and his remix is shit. And I'm just like, whoa, where did this come from?
Wait,
like,
who's this dude though?
Richard Jock, the composer of Sonic Shiroi.
Okay.
This place, we're back at the party.
Still warm. Nice. The benefits of time travel.
You sound a bit like Jason Griffith. Remember, Joe, you try to sound a bit more Roger.
Hey, Sonic. It was great teaming up with you. Hope that boost helps you out in the future. I mean, the past. Yeah, usually I try and emulate whichever Sonic we're doing in this certain area here. Like, when we do Chronicles, I might probably do Jason Griffith's voice there.
If you're doing Roger, you gotta drop your voice several octaves by this point.
If we
Well, wait till you play Frontier, Shiroi.
If we do...
No, that's what I'm talking about. Like, his voice got deep.
If we get to the Rush games, can I be Tails?
You want to be Amy Palance Tails? I mean, I was Amy Palance Tails in Unleashed.
That's the one I tend to sound like.
Fine, if you want.
Blaze, right?
Fine, I will give you. Yeah, you are.
Right. You are Blaze through and through.
Fine, I will give you Amy Palance Tails. Considering, I don't like Amy Palance Tails. So.
So there you go, Pedro. One thing off your hands.
I guess. Thank God for Kate Higgins and Colleen.
I love Dan Green's Knuckles, though.
Hey,
Sonic! Enjoy your future! It's gonna be great!
Yeah!
To me, I mean, call me old-fashioned, but like Scott, I still really have a soft spot for Scott Dreer's Knuckles. Yes.
Oh wait, never mind.
What?
I'm just waiting to see if the credits will actually, pay mine to the games that were used in this game, or if they're just going.
They will.
They-
Oh no, they will. They will. Remember, this game has its own version of the credits medley, so it does. Don't worry.
Okay. Kudos.
Also, the joke I just made makes more sense if you were talking about the game back when it came out, because at the moment, Sonic's future is pretty decent.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true. But okay. See, basically, what they do in this credits medley is they actually show the original game, and then they show the same shot in this game, which, in my opinion, doesn't really give the game's art design much favors. But whatever. Just to finish explaining things.
Can I very quickly have a time, please?
Well, actually, we're basically done, Shiroi. So.
Well, there is a cutscene and some footage.
Oh yeah, that's
after,
true.
though.
Go to 26 and 10 or something.
Alright, there.
Alright, let's
Where are you
wait.
at?
2610, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Alright, in the meantime.
Not bad elevator music at least.
Alright, and click. Okay, just to finish explaining things to Shiroi. Okay, basically, Shiroi, I'm not even kidding you. It was so bizarre, to me at least. Maybe Dwibs knows more about it, but to me it was so bizarre because all T and his wife did was make a new cover of Can You Feel the Sunshine. It wasn't even made for a game, it was just done for the hell of it. Right?
Why is he so
Alright.
mad?
And he got mad and started insulting T on Twitter, and it's just like, where the fuck did this come from? Like, even if you don't like their cover, like, is this really justifiable? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, because
Was this like before T-Lopes became essentially, somebody who does work for them, and
Yeah.
Rock took issue
No,
with
no,
the
no,
fact that it was
no. This was after.
remix?
No, I'm pretty sure this was after Sonic Mania, if I remember correctly. But the thing is, that it was so weird because Richard Jacques, at least to my knowledge, has never displayed any such behavior of any kind. That basically came out of nowhere. Like, even if you don't like his cover, okay, that's fair. You're allowed to have that opinion. Like, okay, just say, I'm not a particular fan, but I appreciate the effort, or something like that. No, instead he went mad, and I don't understand where the fuck did this come from, to be honest with you. Like, the guy...
Okay, so I've looked up the original tweet. What he said was, it's a shame that T-Lopes Music did such a bad job and bad arrangement while failing to credit the songwriter/singer and vocal arranger for his own personal social media likes. Absolutely shameful. Using other people's creativity for your own personal gain is disgraceful. And yeah, given that, given that tweet is deleted now, well,
Yeah, and whoa, all I have to say to that tweet is, whoa, calm down, asshole. Like, first off, you don't own that track, Sega does. That's the first thing right there. Nobody is forced. I mean, normally you do it still because, basic courtesy. But technically, the track entirely belongs to Sega, not you. So don't act like you own the track. Just saying.
I don't know, I had never known Jacques to have, an immense ego before this tweet.
That's the thing, Jova. It came out of nowhere because never at any point before that tweet.
What did T do? It's like he's existing.
But what happened? What happened? Did Tiago come to your house and shit on your lawn or something? Like,
Sure acts like it.
He in your
Jesus.
breakfast? What the fuck?
seriously, that's the thing, Shiro. That's the weird part. It came out of nowhere. Literally nowhere. It's the
Weird.
it was like basically, Joe, but to give you an idea, it was literally just like that. It was like the Colonel in Gears of War Judgment suddenly going full misogynist on us for no reason. Like, it literally came out of nowhere. Like,
For no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Jesus.
as you can probably imagine, the guy basically stopped using Twitter since then because he got a lot of hate for it. Go fucking wonder. But text proofreading, yeah, basically. I do recommend going on YouTube because someone actually merged both medleys, like the medley of the 3DS version and the medley of the HD version, into one big medley, and it's really great. That's the version that I usually prefer hearing. That's the basic gist of it. Anyway, that was Sonic Generations 3DS. Don't go away, everybody, because like Jova said, we have an after credits scene, and we're also going to check out one of the missions. Yeah, there you go. That's Sonic Rush. Shiro,
I
you
think the
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I really do love the modern remix of Back to Back.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it hits the chorus part of it.
Alright, Shira, your thoughts, please, while this is going.
Alright. Well, it's like I said a couple of parts ago. I don't have any strong feelings on this game, positive or negative. It was fun to play. Again, the only complaint that I do have is the one that everyone has, where it would have been nice if this was a love letter exclusively to the handheld era. We did get some unique stages, which was nice, but I don't know. I still feel like, especially considering Dims is behind this, they could have pulled from the advanced catalog, or even Rush, because like the advanced series especially has some of the most unique like level design, not design, like level aesthetics and such in the franchise. They could have done a lot with this. I still think it's a decent game. The special stages were fun. Good music remixes. I think.
What do you think of the art design, like the texture work? Do you think the game looks nice to look at?
I think the Rush games were prettier.
Yep, agreed.
But I don't think this looks Sonic 4 awful, or just awful in general. It's okay. You know, I don't know how much of it was chalked up to this being a very early 3DS game. I don't know.
Also, also like that. Zebra Head and Bowling for Soup were credited in the special thanks section. Nice. Go on.
Yes. I think that's it. It's a decent game. You know, it's fine.
Okay. It's fine.
Yeah, there we go.
That's Shira's overall review. It's fine.
I liked it. There we
Wait,
You're all here.
you guys were, that's a lie. You guys were not in the game.
No. Remember, guys, Tails mentioned we got there before everyone else did.
How
All
convenient.
work here is done.
Are you sure you saw a door over here? What? You were the one who said you saw a door over here. Well, I know it was one of us. Shut up and keep looking.
Yeah, it's basically the same cutscene from the HD version.
This game takes place in
What time is it? It's the exact same time as when you asked earlier, and it'll be the exact same time when you ask later. There is no time here!
Someone
Let me just
ate it.
say that this was a brilliant plan that you came up with. Don't get too self-righteous. It'll be your plan pretty soon. Why would anyone try this stupid plan twice? I heard that!
How did you hear that? It sounded like he was thinking that.
So tell me something. Do we ever win?
Eventually.
There are times when we come close. Very, very close indeed. So, no?
Well, there was that time in Sonic Chronicles.
That's encouraging.
Shh, we can't acknowledge that game.
I can only pray that I don't end up like you. Good luck with that. By the way, Dr. Eggman, what time is it?
Da-da-da-da-da-da. You received the mission.
That's
And then he punched
different
Eggman,
from
I guess.
That's different from how it ended in the controversy where he reconciled to get his teaching degree.
I guess. Alright, so yeah, we unlocked yet another mission. So what are these missions exactly? So that's supposed to be the thing that's supposed to give this game extra playtime. Let's see what it is. So we have the versus mode, where I don't have anybody to play with. Time attack is of course usual, but let's look at the mission mode. See what exactly are these missions that we've been unlocking. Okay, so mission, we have this mission called Rampage. What is this? Defeat 10 enemies in Green Hill Act 1 in 1 minute. Okay, let's do that, I guess.
Neat.
Should be fun. Hey, Sonic Battles theme.
Yep. That's one of the mission themes you can get.
Alright, let me
Which also shows up in.
try that again.
Which also shows up in the console version too.
I think so, maybe. There's one on the track. I'll have to go back and look.
It does, yeah.
That's it, basically. The missions basically boil down to this. Kill X enemies in this zone. Complete this zone in X minutes.
So not as much variety as the missions in the console version.
Yeah, like it's literally just the most banal, rudimentary missions you can think of. Like, there's not really anything akin to what the HD version does, not really. So don't bother with the missions; they're not particularly worth it in my opinion. I guess if I remember correctly, I think you unlock more stuff in the you unlock illustrations in the gallery and shit. But to be perfectly honest, I can't bring myself to care, so I'm not gonna do any more. Perfection. Clear Green Hill Act 2 in 1 minute and 30 without taking any damage.
Okay, honestly, if you're fine with these missions, go ahead and complete them. It seems fine enough. Just not as complex or as cool as the missions in the console version. Nothing horrendous by the looks of it.
Alright, that's it. I guess let's take a look at that illustration we just unlocked before we end this.
That track just then in the mission screen probably cost the most to make because of, Santa Nakamura and royalties.
There you go.
Marine.
We unlocked an illustration of Marine.
Marine, oh thank God. The only Sonic character I'm glad doesn't have a voice.
Man, people really did not like Marine.
Alright, and that was it.
She's just Aussie stereotype.
There's basically a model list as well, but I don't care. We're basically done. Alright, Dwibs, thoughts please.
Okay, it's not a bad game from the looks of it. The new remixes we get exclusive to this version are great. The graphics, I think, are okay enough for an early 3DS game. Kind of the same about the voice acting because there's just clips, like little snippets. I've already complained about the dialogue. The levels themselves, again, they're like this game in general. They're just fine. I mean, they're nothing awful, but I wonder how much time went into this port, considering how stuffed Dibs were with things to do at this time. They were working on this, and then they were working on Sonic 4 Episode 2, and then on the horizon there was Lost World 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only imagine. I can only imagine all the stuff they were saddled with. Honestly, that's really about it. Generations 3DS it's not awful, it's not great either. It's just something, it's just a average consolation prize that you get if you have a 3DS but not a console or a PC.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Done?
That's it.
Jova.
Yeah, I think it's a good, decent little port, essentially. Well, not a port, but a handheld counterpart of sorts. It does its job as the handheld version of a console game, giving you essentially a more bite-sized experience that you can play in chunks here and there, while providing enough to warrant its price, I'd say. Again, I think the graphics look fine. They may not pop as great as the Rush games before it, but I do feel like it's meant to be a more 3D-esque evolution, meant to gel with the stereoscopic 3D. The music, of course, is awesome. The controls are well and fine enough, and hey, the missions don't even really seem bad per se. They seem maybe overtly simple, but I'm fine with that. Again, obviously I prefer the console version in spades, but I'm gonna say this is definitely one of Dimps' better games. So, yeah, kudos. It's definitely better than that other 3DS handheld Sonic game of theirs. But that's a story for another day.
Well,
In the
technically,
past, because we already commentated on it.
with this, we're officially done with all the 3DS Sonic games. Well, the platformers at least.
All right, yeah, that was fair and decent. Go on, Pedro.
Yeah, it's a game. It's a game. It exists. I do still have some issues with some bits here and there, like I said. But yeah, overall, the game is just very, very average. Like, it really is one of those games where it's just like, if you don't, like, I can literally, the reason I don't go back to this one is because there's literally, like you can get better classic Sonic gameplay from other games. You can get better boost gameplay from other games. This game doesn't really have anything to offer that you can't get from before, after, and better. So it really is hard to justify coming back to play this game, to be honest with you. It's not that it's bad, it's just incredibly average and very like I don't really have any particular reasons to go back to this. It's just an incredibly average game where I have incredibly average thoughts about, and therefore basically, yeah, that's it. Cannot really bring myself to say anything more because this game gives me so little to talk about. The music is great, like the other guys have said. That's about it. I don't particularly care for how it looks, and like I said, its selection of stages is very questionable because you literally had a perfect golden opportunity to pay homage to the handheld games of the past, and you just didn't. Not to mention, it's important to remember, those first 3 classic Sonic stages, that was lazy dimps. Come on. Well, remember, they reused all the classic layouts. Like, Green Hill is just from the original game. Same thing with Casino Night, and same thing with Mushroom Hill. Like, come on, dimps. You couldn't come up with your own original layouts for these? Come on.
Like I've said, I never really found that lazy. I found that it's just an homage of sorts, but it is what it is, I guess.
Whatever. The point is, it's an incredibly average game. If you have access to the HD version, just stick with that. That's a better game. And that's it. We're done with the 3DS platformers of Sonic. I mean, but like the guys have been saying over the course of the game, we still have to go back and play some of the older handheld platformers. So we'll see what we do next. See ya.
Mm-hmm.